Thank you, everyone, for your patience on this rainy day. Are we all set? Can I begin? A year ago today, the unthinkable happened. It was a bright afternoon, unlike today, and it marked a moment in our city that will be etched into the history books. Everybody talked about it, made national news. It was meant to reflect this dividing line between black and white, between downtown and the rest of the city. But it is easy to forget that what really happened that day was that a brother, a father, a husband, a son, a best friend, a cousin, an Orioles fan, a Ravens fan, a polygrad, an engineer, was executed over our shoulders. It's been a hard year, really for everyone, for the entire city. And I certainly do not even pretend to put myself in the shoes of the people that are standing with me. Becky and Shannon, Kristen and Trey have suffered the unimaginable. They have walked in that valley that none of us should ever have to endure. Today is a day of remembrance. Today is a day of tribute. Today is not a day about politics. Today is not a day about the case. Today is really about Becky and Shannon and Trey and Kristen and their families, and wanting to bring a measure of remembrance, of honoring, of paying tribute, of thanking. I'm mainly here to give Becky and Shannon and Trey and Kristen a minute to catch themselves, because that's who you really want to hear from, and that's who you should hear from. Trey's going to come up and talk about his best friend and about what the last year has been and about what Tim is and was to him. Becky's going to come up afterwards and speak up on behalf of the family and share some thoughts from the family to the entire city. Have I stalled long enough?
Yeah, pretty good. My name is Trey Tomasco. I was Tim Reynolds' best friend of 30 years. I just want to basically thank the community, Baltimore, friends, family, everyone that stepped up and helped us get through and deal with this horrible tragedy. Tim was a great guy, smartest person I knew, hilarious. He's missed very deeply every day. So I know that this specific case got a lot of attention, and it even went nationally, but we are just hoping that some good will come of this, and Tim's tragedy will help other cases and justice for anyone that's been put through what happened to Tim. So thank you very much.
Hello. First of all, I just want to thank every one of you for being here today. We really appreciate it. You've been with us through this whole entire process. As you know, a year ago today, right behind us, my brother became Baltimore City homicide victim number 186. And while this has been an unimmeasurable tragedy for our family, and it's been news, big news, he was number 186, and we ended the year with 330. last year. All of those victims mattered. All of those victims deserve to be remembered and fought for the same way that my brother is being fought for. This didn't have to happen. We know that. I'm sorry. This is only the second time I've been here, so I'm a little shaky. But we know that this didn't have to happen. There were no preventative measures done, and then that lack of preventative measures turned into the biggest tragedy of our lives. And while we can't ever get my brother back, we can fight so that this doesn't continue to happen to other families, to every other family, not just the people that are killed downtown, but the people that are killed in East Baltimore and West Baltimore and Brooklyn and Cherry Hill. They all matter, just like my brother. And they were sons, they were mothers, they were fathers, they were brothers. And if it takes us to push our tragedy into the forefront to get some justice for everybody, some attention for every victim, then that's what we're going to do. It's bigger than just Tim Reynolds. It's the whole city. My family, my brother, we were born and raised in this city. He loved this city. He went to Baltimore City Polytechnic. He went to UMBC, went to Johns Hopkins University. He was Baltimore through and through. And after this tragedy happened, my brother was condemned. He was, for weeks, months, the bat-wielding maniac, the big white guy going after the young black kid. And all that does is divide a city. That's not what our family stands for. That's not what my brother stood for. This is just a man who was murdered in cold blood on the city streets of Baltimore that he loved so much. And that is, accountability has to be done. And that's the bottom line here. And that's what needs to be focused on. And that's what we're focusing on. We're focusing on justice. Justice for this city, change for this city, justice for our family, because my brother was not a bat-wielding maniac. He was a husband, he was a father. He has 3 children who don't have a father. He was an engineer. He will never get to hug his children, hug my mother, my father, his wife, ever again. And for the young people, if you understood how final death was, you put the guns down. You can't bring these people back. And this is the end result. This is the result. This is what you have left. A mourning family, children without fathers. There needs to be change. Forget this. We need to come together as a human. This is a human race problem. It's not a white problem. It's not a money problem. It doesn't matter if it's the Harbor or Baker Street. This is a human race problem. And it's our job as the adults to change the mindsets of these young people. These youth are going to be running this city. Is that what do we want to leave behind? What do you want your legacy to be? Because I know my brother is gone, but his legacy is solidified. What do you want your legacy to be? That you're the one that took him out? Or you're the one taking the people out? Or taking someone's husband, father, brother, son? You can be an engineer too. If that's what you want, go do it. But please, this is not about race. And we know that race relations in this country is a problem. But this is about Baltimore City, the human race, coming together and getting our city to come together to fight the violence that affects all of us. All of us. No one is exempt. Not us, not the drug corner, not Brooklyn Park, no one. And so I'm just here today not just to honor my brother and show support for this city and my family and get his story out there, but also to show support for every single family who suffered the loss of their loved one, because no one, this pain is universal. It has no face, no color, no anything. All it is pain. When you peel back my skin, my blood bleeds for my brother, and it's red, just like everyone else's that bleeds for their family member. And that's all I have to say. Sorry. I'm sorry. I do want to thank the community for the outpouring of love. I want to thank all of you. You've been with us from day one. You have tried. I have tried to put out the right information, and because there's been a lot of information, and we appreciate all the love and support from the media, from the community, the outpouring of love. We're not quick to rush to judgment, that wanted to know the facts before they judged, and are actually basing this situation, this incident, this tragedy off of the facts and not off of emotion, because it's easy to do that. So we appreciate you guys putting out the proper information, getting it out there to the public, taking the time to speak to us and allowing us to do this. And just really thank you so much. And we're just going to continue to fight for justice for my brother, for justice for everybody in this city. The city is hurting. And to me, this rain is a sign that there's tears over this city. And we feel it too, and it affects all of us. So thank you all. I have a lantern that I want to light, not only for my brother. I'm going to release it for every victim up until this day, and for the victims that will come, because we know they will. Unfortunately, until there's change, the bloodshed's not going to stop. But I'm going to light this in remembrance of my brother, and in remembrance of every victim that was on that list, that where my brother was just number 186, but he was also a husband, a father, a son, and we loved him very, very much. And so I'm going to do this in remembrance of him and all the murder victims. We're never going to stop fighting for you. Never.
Say we love you, Tim.
We love you, Tim.